Hello, 7K world. Oh, do we have some hot news for you tonight? Hot tools, hot way to build your business, hot way to bring new people in. Hey, I want to introduce you to Frank Susko Jr. and David Capolina. And, I got to meet them. I have some people in our group that's already used their tools. They are 7K approved. And we're going to make it short and sweet. Let them show you what they have. We'll have contact information for you, and they'll explain it. But it's a system, and everybody in my team knows I teach a system. If you teach a system, you duplicate a system, and you have people duplicate the system, then you build a large left and right team, and in time, you can build your income. So let's bring 22nd century marketing to you. And that's what piqued my interest so much is I saw that we've got 22nd century marketing. We're mixing the new tools that 7K has put in our 7K system into how you translate it to individuals. And these experts have got that marketing background and got that experience. So Frank, David, take it away, friends.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for having us here tonight. So what's up, everybody? How is everybody doing tonight? So what you're seeing here is Frank and I have been graphic designers in the printing business for well over 20 years as far as our brick and mortar businesses. We've been in 7K roughly about a year and a half now. Love everything about it. I'm so glad Frank introduced it to me. And of course, it's changed our lives ever since. And we've been living 7K for multiple hours per day, every day for the past year and a half. So what you're looking at is some of the companies we've worked with, promoting them, coming up with different ideas to get more people into their doors, more people to know about them, their sales, everything like that. So when we got into 7K, of course, we were always trying to figure out what was the best way to market it. I know they had the Wealth Strategy books. They give you the app, which we all kind of love the app, but we'll go into that a little bit further, a little bit more. But as we started building the team that we have, and you're struggling to figure out how do you tell people about 7K. So with Frank, what we did was, as people were nervous, right? So if you're nervous to promote, you're nervous to pick up the phone, you just don't have time to go through the training, which I highly do not recommend. Everyone should at least go through the back office of 7K's training, or as we've been talking with Bob, definitely go through Bob's training. He's probably, I think 7K learns from him. So, so with that being said, you definitely want to tune into all that. It'll definitely help you, as Bob said, grow your business and grow your income. So with that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to have Frank bring us over to our first sample sheet, and you guys can get an idea of what we've been working with and what's been helping our team, plus now multiple other 7K members market their 7K business.
All right. So, but before we do go over to the sample sheets, let's take them through the map so they understand how this all works. Right, Dave?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
So let's
okay.
go through. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
You want me to go? Okay. Yeah. So Frank and I, again, as we kind of do anything with any business, we always create a map, right? So everyone understands exactly what we're trying to do and the path that the prospect or the customer is going to take to get them to the end result. So 7K already gives us the app with the videos and all that plugs into our 7K business. So what you're looking at is, of course, you have your prospect. You're going to hand them the postcard. Okay, on that postcard, we create you a QR code that connects them to your app. Okay, so once they connect to you, now they're in your system, they're in your world. We recommend that you start out with the Y7K video. And the reason being that we recommend it, it's only about 7 minutes long. So as we were going through all of this, we were even talking with Blake a little bit and our team and just other team leaders. And 7K just seemed to be like that perfect video to pique interest. Because again, you don't want to throw up too much information, we call it, right? You just don't want to lay all of 7K on somebody. It'll be overwhelming. You'll turn them down. It's just like a lot of information. And 7K has technically multiple paths, right? You have like your generic silver people, you have your collectible silver people, you have people that want to make money, you have people that want to flip some of the collectible coins to make money. So you could sit and talk with someone for 7K for hours. That's not the purpose of this and this path and the postcard. All we want to do is be like, hey, you know, you have a few minutes, you're laying on the couch, you're laying in bed, everyone's busy, right? So you always get that, like, oh, I'm very busy. We need 7 minutes of your time to hopefully change your life and show you a whole different way for your family to get extra income, secure some silver and gold, secure your future, your kids' future, all of that. So that's why we recommend the Y7K video. Now, once they are in the app and they watch that video, they have the option to click on next video. And then the next video they'll watch is the wealth strategy video, then why collectibles, and then how to get paid. After any of those videos, they can click on become a member, right? So once they click on become a member, they'll go over to your membership page, right? Which is like your main page. They can pick their membership. They show up in your holding tank, and then you can place them left or right on your front line. So it's a very simple system that all Frank and I did was we just were able to connect 7K tools with our tools and made it a lot easier for you to prospect and, you know, share 7K with whoever you want it. Especially if you're doing trade shows, gun shows, car shows. I mean, our team does a lot with community days and sponsoring of baseball teams and just everything in our towns. So it's very nice and simple. You'll see on the next page, the cards definitely get, they pique everyone's interest. When you put it in someone's hand, they're 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask you what it's all about because it's just different as you'll see them. Frank, you want to add anything or that pretty much covered that?
That covers everything. Again, with again, this is one of our systems. Again, you heard Dave talking about all that, but we're not discounting the training in the back of 7K. We're not discounting what Bob is teaching, right? This is just a simple way. So when you get into 7K, you can instantly start promoting your 7K business, right? Because we want to get you guys, you know, people to sign up, right, as fast as we can while you're going through the training with Bob and the, you know, the 7K training, right? But this instantly gets you started. And not only that, it's fun, it's simple, and it's duplicatable. And that's the key for our team to build like a strong downline. We all want to be talking the same exact flavor, if you will. So what I mean by that is we all use the tools in the back of 7K, okay? If we got people that are doing like YouTube ads or like we're doing funnels or webinars, they're like the weak link because not everybody can do that. But everybody can hand out a postcard, right? And then that's how we get our conversation started. And again, they go over to the Y7K, they watch the 7-minute video, and they get to decide on what do they want to do. Do they want to become a member or get a little bit more information? So the reason why we like this path is we're spoon feeding just a little bit of information versus a 2-hour webinar. Not too many, you know, dads and moms have 2 hours to commit to at a certain time. This way, when we hand you this postcard, right, you could just scan the QR code and you get to watch it on your time. When the kids go to bed, right, that's when you might want to be scanning this and getting more information. Once you have that information, you can always contact the person that's on that card. So that's why for us, it's just a very simple way to start getting people on that front line.
And for me, what I really like about it and what I want everybody to know is what they summarized here. It's simple. It's a system. And a picture tells 1,000 words.
That's right.
And this is bringing us a way for you to promote your business without messing up with your mouth.
Right.
And that's what most people have a problem with. They get so excited, they just throw up all over everyone. and this list, friends, is the tool. This is the 22nd century tool, and it's a system, and it goes right with what I teach. You're to pique somebody's interest. This is a tool. Now, without any further ado, Frank, David, show them the tools. They'll see what we're talking about, you know?
I like to go slow on that. I love this map because you have to always make that map. I'm just telling everybody who's watching, it's just a golden nugget. Always make a map, always follow your line just to see what's going on. See if you can break it. But yeah, let's go jump over to the sample so you guys can take a look at them.
So there we go. See if we can, you make them a little bigger, Frank? There we go. Perfect.
Let's just do half at a time. That way they can get a good,
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys. So what you're seeing are 12 designs that are approved by 7K for us to use. A lot of the collectibles, a lot of the main coins. And then we, of course, I say some of the generic coins. So we kind of make sure we hit everybody that we're trying to market to. All of the back of the cards, at least for these ones, are all the same. They're just different colored, just so they kind of match the fronts and the backs of each of these coins. So, of course, you have your silver, Lady Liberty, your Gold Eagle, the Roman series, Poseidon, Fighter Pilot. Of course, two of the main favorites are the Black Panther, Miss Liberty. Everybody knows them coins. Let's see. So the Black Owl, the Firefighter. And then, of course, if you have a Canadian team, a lot of them guys wanted the Maple Leaf. So we did that. Of course, we have people in Canada. So we, of course, had to help them out a little bit there. And to jump into this a little bit, a lot of people always ask us, our recommendation, which is perfectly fine. Like, what's the best seller? Which one converts the best? There isn't no exact answer for that, because even though you have the postcards, and sometimes me and Frank may be a little blunt, as if, well, even with Bob, probably, like, again, for us, if this was one of our team calls, even though you have them, you have to get them out. You have to use the tools, right? Just because you have them and they're sitting in the backseat of your car, they're not going to do anything for you, right? So you still have to hand them out. So we always say, pick the card or the coin that you have the most confidence in, right? That's what's going to help you promote your 7K business, right? So I know, Frank, we have a lot of people that did the Black Panther, right? Love it. And I always say why the Black Panther works so well is because we know what we got it for, what the value is for. And 9 times out of 10, the average person does not even realize that's a silver coin. So you're just like piquing their interest. And if you own the coin, we'll get into that in a minute. If you own the coin, it really even hypes up the conversation. But when you hand that to someone, you're so excited to tell them the story of the Black Panther coin. And they're like, that's a silver coin. And yeah, and we got it for X amount. Now it's worth this. And imagine what it's gonna be in 10 years. And imagine if you had 2 or 3 of them, and all of that. Again, it's giving you the confidence. That's the whole purpose behind all of this. Even when we did all this for our team, it's all about the confidence for you to promote.
Right.
Me personally, I'm a Silver Eagle, Lady Liberty #4. That's just me personally, and I own all these coins. Well, except for the Fighter Pilot one, we didn't get that far yet. But the rest of them, I own them. So, but I still always feel #4 because to me, I always feel subconsciously people know what that is. Right. So it's one less step that I feel I have to explain to someone. So when I hand it to them, they're like, yo, Dave, what is this all about? And I'm like, listen, I got into silver and gold. You should really just check it out. Scan that video, call me. I can give you access to however much silver and gold you want. And most of the time, you're like, oh, really? Like silver and gold and blah, blah, blah. And it starts that little bit of a conversation. And then we kind of just go from there. But for me personally, and my confidence, I always feel I have the most success with that one. But there's, I don't know now, hundreds of other people who chose, like I said, Miss Liberty or the Panther or the Gold Eagle or either one of them, because that was the confidence they had to just go right up to someone. Or if they're at a show and they're dishing them out, because they just have the confidence that if somebody wants to talk to them about it, they like have their, I guess I don't want to call it a story, but I guess they just have their confidence on how they can explain it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'll say as far as a bestseller. There really isn't. You have to start thinking about how you're going to use these cards to promote your 7K business. That's all you need to think about as you're looking at all of these.
Yeah, let me jump in really quick, Dave. So Yeah, Dave's saying that he likes the Silver Eagle. A lot of people do like that Black Panther, but let me tell you why number 4 is very good too. Okay, so as a designer, right, I go and watch all the stuff that we can't control, which would be the Y7K video, right? I'm not going to go make a brand new video, right? We're going to use that tool, and we want you to use that same tool also to do the presentation, right? So the reason why I like number 4 is because in that video, this coin right here is actually talked about, right? So when you hand this card out, and this is all I would say is like, hey, Dave, I got some information that I want to share with you tonight. When you put the kids to bed, scan that QR code and watch the information in that video. It's going to change your life. That's how I promote my entire 7K business. One sentence. Okay. That's all I do. When they get to that part of the video, it all makes sense, right? I gave him the postcard. I probably showed him the coin out of my pocket, right? It put it in his hand. He's all like hyped up. Puts the kids to bed, scans that QR code, goes to the Y7K video. And when that coin shows up in that video, it all makes sense, right? Then he has that option to watch that next video or give me a call or even become a member. So again, it's only 7 minutes, and that's how I run my entire 7K business. And I know that you guys could do it too. It's just that simple. The other thing is, okay, so this is the one that I started out with, but the other thing, as a marketer or a promoter, you always want to be split testing. Okay, jot that down. That's another gold nugget for you. So maybe the first round, I'm going to do Silver Eagles. The next round, maybe I'll do these the firefighter. Maybe I'll just jump over to, again, the Black Panther. You always want to be split testing. Can you get a better result out of your next marketing piece? Okay. And the reason why I say it like that is because, Dave, you want to jump in on that pizza? Okay.
Yeah. So guys, yeah, so there's a couple of things, and I'm just going to tell you a couple examples of how we use them. And I know not everybody has this option. And Frank, of course, will probably tell you I'm one of the luckiest ones. But we do have people on our team that own brick and mortar businesses. So that does give us a very easy path to reach a lot of people. So the one that Frank always loves is I love pizza. So I went in one day, I'm going back now a while now, but went in one day to my pizza shop, blah, blah, and I just asked him if I could have placed the cards on his counter. So he was like, oh yeah, Dave, how's everything? How's the fam? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, it's all good. So he's like, what do you have? And I'm like, I just got into some silver and gold. Figured I just leave them, in the town, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, oh, I don't want to curse, but he's like, oh, whatever. And he's like, oh, I'll check it out later. So I'm like, all right, I know you're busy, like all good. The next day he calls me. He's like, yo, I watched the video. So I'm like, oh, what you think? You know what I mean? Is it something? So he's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely in. Swing by today. So I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. So I go back over, I bring, my case. I say I have one specific case that I bring when I go out to show people. It has a lot of variety of different things, just so people, as Frank said, when you touch it and hold it and you hold 10 ounces of silver, 100-ounce silver bar, and some of the collectibles, it just gives it that feel.
Credibility.
So, yeah. So not only now is he on, but now in my town, at least, every pizza box that goes out has a Silver Eagle taped to the front of that pizza box. So I swear my whole town knows of 7K. They're probably like, holy crap, there's just another card. But to go a step further, as Frank was saying, because he goes through a lot of them and so many of them, he's always split testing. So he's like, oh, we'll do Silver Eagles this week, Black Panthers next week, Miss Liberty. Because as Frank said, you don't really know when that pizza box hits hits the family table for dinner. If it's a kid or whoever, like, again, they all just grab your attention to at least pique interest of, okay, what is this? We have another person who owns 4 dry cleaners. So dry cleaners is the Silver Eagles, Black Panther. So every dry clean order, they're going out stapled to the orders. A car wash, another gentleman owns a car wash. So every time a car goes through to get, washed, and you get in your car, there's a Silver Eagle, a Gold Eagle, a Miss Liberty, something is in your center console. And again, it's just, as Bob said, it's the pique interest. sometimes there's good days, sometimes there's bad days, but you're always promoting because you just don't know. And you have no idea, again, because 7K has multiple paths, as I just said, you have no idea what's going to relate to someone. And as Frank will always say, at least for our team, and Bob may say the same thing, is try not to ever think for anybody.
That's
Like,
right.
just don't do that. The worst thing, you're like, oh, that person ain't in the silver and gold, and oh, that person, it's the worst thing you can do. Hand it to it. You want as many eyes on your 7K business, because you've probably had this happen in your life at some point. The people that you thought would be interested aren't, and the people that you're like, oh, there's no way. And all of a sudden, there's some of the biggest silver and gold collectors out there. So,
Let me jump in for a sec, Dave.
yeah.
All right, so when he's talking about that, so when we have, we're split testing Silver Eagles versus the Black Panther, right? Now, Dave just said that this guy, he walked into the pizza guy just to see if he can get, like, just say 50 of these on his counter, right?
Yep.
He wasn't going in to sign up the pizza guy. I want you guys to think about this for a second, okay? This is how it really works, right? Dave was going in to hand out maybe, 25, 50 of these to the counter. Here, this guy scans them, joins 7K, and guess what he did? He's buying the postcards, all right? That's how you leverage the postcards, right? Dave wasn't, now this guy is handing out thousands of postcards, okay? But the pizza guy, because he's, in talks with me, I tell him the split test. Now, Dave said that pizza box hits the
Kitchen table,
right? What are the kids doing? Dad, here's one of those cards again. What is this, right? Here's the third one. So it takes multiple touches to get somebody to join 7K. Think about how many times did somebody have to talk about 7K to you before you joined, okay? I'm a numbers guy, and I only live by the numbers. And our numbers show it's about 5 to 10 touches before somebody comes on. Now, will you get one of those guys that comes on as soon as they watch the video? Absolutely. But again, the average is 5 to 10 touches. So here's a postcard. Another postcard goes out another week. Again, you're switching it up. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying here? So it's multiple touches to get you on 7K. So you don't want to keep just giving out the Silver Eagle, right?
Right. Yep.
The other thing that we say is when you get your postcard, if you don't have those pizza places or you don't know anybody in the car washes, right? Where do we hand these things out, right? You're asking that question in your head. Well, we don't recommend going down to the Home Depot parking lot and, plaster them all over the cars, although you could do that. But remember, that's ice cold traffic. Okay. Another gold nugget for you right there. So jot that down. What you want to be doing with these is whoever you come in contact through your daily routine, right? So what do I mean by that? Your hair salon, your barber, the place where you're getting your nails done, where you're getting your back cracked, the chiropractor, the car wash. We always say the pizza place, because remember, when you walk into the pizza place, again, Dave loves pizza, so do I. On Friday night, it's pizza night at my house. So I'm in there once a week on Friday night. Guess what? The owner knows my name, right? Yeah. Don't you think you've been buying from these guys for years? It's time to show them what you have, right? That's all you're saying. Like, hey, I come in here all the time. I just want to show you what I have. You make a lot of green, right? Why don't we help you change that over to some shiny silver, right? It's very simple. We're not talking much. So these are the people that's in your warm pond, if you will. The Home Depot parking lot is ice cold. Okay. So when I say for our team, we recommend 5 postcards, okay, per day, Monday through Friday. Okay. I'm going to give you the weekend off. Okay. But if you're like me, you're going to work that weekend. But I'm just saying 5 postcards per day at the end of the week. That's 25 new eyeballs on your Y7K. Okay. That's more than most people can get. Like, oh, I got to call somebody. I got to make a list of 100 people and go down there and start calling them. And usually what happens for a new 7K member is they get to number 3 or 4. And like, this just doesn't work. Everyone's saying no to me. And the reason why is because you're brand new. You don't know what to say, right? So what we want to do is make it easy for you. Hand this to your dentist after he's done cleaning your teeth, right? You've been going to the same guy for 10 years. I know I have, right? Let 7K do the presentation for you. Let 7K show all the visuals and put the, the music behind it, right? And let the dentist watch that video and let him decide. Because Dave already said that, and I say that to my team all the time. Stop deciding for people, just hand them out. It's a numbers game. And we're all going to get no's. I got hundreds of no's, if not thousands. I'm sure Bob, same thing. No's. It's all right. Like, we already know we're going to get a no. So it's okay, right? The only thing that we got to do is just start handing these out to the warm people that are in your circle. Once you're done, all the warm people, then you can go to the, go to the cooler people. Like, so it's okay. So when you go to the salon, it might not be the lady who's cutting your hair. Maybe it's the person at the cash register. Maybe it's the lady who's washing your hair. And again, I'm just trying to get you to think where you should be handing these out, right? You don't want to go ice cold all the time. Go to people that you know, but you really don't even think that you know, right? But you do know these people. And again, Chinese food place. Where else you got, Dave? Wherever you're dropping the kids off, right? The daycare. I mean, go in and you're spending thousands of dollars. I've already done it. Dave does it, right?
Yeah.
Hand them a coin. I mean, you'd be surprised all of a sudden, what is this? Okay. So that's
real fast. 1 second, Frank. I want to jump in on that real fast.
Yeah.
The other thing is Frank just said, and again, it's yes, multiple touches. I hate to say it, we live in a world where everyone is extremely busy and we're all fast-paced life, right?
Nope.
So do not think it was a wasted card, or don't think it was a wasted meeting or a touch, if you would, right? I just did a car show not too long ago. I didn't really think it was all that well of a car show. I mean, it was a nice day. We sponsored the car show. We kind of do that for our team. But so we sponsored the car show. A lot of people came. I went and handed out maybe 100 or so postcards. Frank couldn't make it that day, so he called me later. He's like, "Oh, how'd it go?" I said, "Oh, it went good." I said, "A lot of people came up to the table, seeing the coins and all." I said, "But I didn't really feel I got that much interaction, right?" So I was like, but some days are good, some days are bad. I don't know if it was 3 or 4, maybe even 5 days later, like the week almost finished, maybe it was 2 days. Frank's like, "Oh, anybody call from the car show?" And I'm like, "Nah, nobody called yet." I think on like the 5th day, I think I had 4 people call.
Right.
Came on board.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, I say to Frank all the time, like, that's 5 days past. And I'm like, "Dave, I just got around to scan." And I'm thinking, in 5 days to watch a 7-minute video. Granted, we joke about it, but people are busy, kids, sports, we get it. So that's why I say, don't ever try and think. And I know it's hard because I'm the worst. Frank's always calming me down. I'm like, "Why ain't nobody calling?" I handed them out, and your different things. But 5 days later, 4 people called and they're like, "Yo, I finally got around. I like it. Let's get together. Let's jump on a call." And perfect. No problem. And I'm always like, again, it was 5 days and I'm thinking life went on type thing. So that's all. Just another piece that.
Got to fill the pipe to get.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to fill it.
Yep.
Bob, would you like to add anything here?
I sure do, because I like everybody that's been in my training knows that number, 5 a day. But look, what Frank and Dave has brought to us through this is made it simple and much easier. No longer do we have to learn a Pique Interest script. No longer do we have to give them a website. No longer do we have to wait on them. No longer have to transmit it by email or text and hope they go to the website and hope they plug it in. For all of those that don't know how to use the app real well, guess what? Even if you're not really good at learning how to send things through the app, you can do your 5 touches, and everybody knows I teach that in my system. 5 touches a day. That's what Frank just said, everybody. Give out 5 of these a day. Learn how to give them out. Learn how to have them with you. Take them out with you. Don't come home until you've given them out that day. Okay? And that's 25 a week. That's 100 a month. And in 5 months, you've hit 500 people. Now, you're going to touch them again, because touches is what it takes.
That's right.
They use the same language I have been teaching for decades, and everyone knows. I tell you, got to learn how to keep the mouth shut and give the tool out. This is the greatest tool 22nd Century Marketing, people. Now wait till you see the next one, because hey, before you take them to the next one, Frank and Dave, hold that up again. Let them see the size. This is something people aren't so flippant about throwing away when you give it to them. They kind of hang on to it. Look at the side. That's a 6-inch round. And then the back of it, is, you see the back has the scan code on it. There you go. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. I'm excited about the next one too. I like them both. I tell you what, these are some of the greatest tools I've seen in the marketplace.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. Dave, you're already giving it away, so we're gonna go jump right into these. So these are our
Bob got me all excited. You know what I mean? I just started whipping out cards as fast as I could.
All right, let's go through these really quick because we got to watch the time because we don't want to go over too much. Okay, so
all right. Zoom it up.
Yep, let's do it. So these, you want to jump through these, Dave?
Yep. So guys, so these are all the different rectangle cards that we offer, right? So there's going to be multiple sets that Frank's going to show you. So the first thing you want to remember is that the back of the cards are all the same. They're just colored differently, right? But the fronts is where you have the different options. So I'm going to go through the backs first because it just makes it a little easier. So the backs have 4, like we call them bullet points or pain points that you're trying to relate to different people on why you want to, own silver and gold, right? And it's not really we say buying, it's truly owning it, physical possession. You want it, you want to own it. That's the biggest thing. So should I buy silver and gold? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Scan the code, watch the video. Again, decide for yourself. Protect yourself against poor government decisions and inflation with silver and gold. Right now, that's probably it's high up there on people that want that back of that card. Reason being is the world we're living in now, whether you like it or love it, I think majority on the other half. So there's some definitely inflation, and the money we're spending on everything else just to live is getting crazier by the day. And the word inflation, of course, is all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, the news. I don't think there's a day goes by that there ain't something that we're either short on, we're paying double, housing, cars, gas, you name it, everything's through the roof. The next one is we make buying silver and gold simple, watch the video. So that really pretty much primary is on Sound Money Wallet and the autosaver. Again, we didn't want to put that on the card though, because unless you're in 7K, or at least before you get into the videos right through the app, you won't really know what those two items are. So it's just, we make it simple. I've gotten so many people in my downline, Frank, the same way, that love Sound Money Wallet. I mean, to me, it's the best thing out there, and it's only going to get better, especially after the convention and what's coming. And it's just amazing that you can buy any amount of silver and gold you want, and 3 days later it's shipped and it's on your doorstep. So I've gotten so many people that I've heard the stories of what they had to do before. They hate it going on other websites and putting in their credit card info all the time, and just different things that, like I say, when you get to a certain point where you're spending a decent amount of money, you just get a little skeptical in certain things. Yeah. Sound Money Wallet solved that for a lot of the people that are on our team. The last one, of course, again, I feel it's just a confidence thing with a lot of our team and other people in 7K, is the collectible world, right? So it's what we paid for them and then current market value. Again, I always feel people relate to this card because I said it before, we deal in a world that people want fast money and they don't really want to work for it. Granted, it doesn't work that way in the long run. You may hit a home run here or there, but a lot of people love seeing that they can spend, $2.99 or $3, I think it was like $3 something, whatever, for the White House coin at the time. They're selling for $600 to $800. The Black Panther coin was $400, and now that's selling. I actually think we should even up that even now, but $1,200 to $2,000, and now it's every bit of that. Yep. Our MS-70 Silver Eagles, right, and the autosaver. Everyone, you hear different results from people. I love them. I buy a few of them a month, if not more, because I'm a firm believer in the $1.2 million mistake. I even have a gentleman on our team who practically lived it, right? So I can tell you for 100% fact, he just retired and got a boatload of money for his silver collection as he was retiring and going to live the dream. So they're the 4 backs. that pretty much they all correlate with the Y7K video, right? So again, as Frank said, as you watch that video, that's pretty much what they talk about in that video. We just put it in, written form or postcard form, so it all makes sense to them. So we can jump over to the fronts now. So this is pretty much just our blue collection, we call it. Hang on one second.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. So Frank normally has plenty of tabs open, so there's always something with a computer. So you want to start with these ones, Frank, or the blue ones?
Oh, I thought we already went.
No, just the back ones. Now go back to just the fronts of the blue ones.
Right. What, I can't make a mistake.
Yeah, it's all good. So these are our blue ones. So we do allow you to put your picture on them. I'll explain that in the next step. Again, it's all about confidence and just what you want to hand out, right? So we kind of did a couple different themes. This one was pretty much the fighter pilot. A quick story, just how we got to designing this for these two gentlemen who are on our team. They are helicopter mechanics, right? So they're all about fighter pilots. They deal with personal helicopters, military helicopters, anything that they just work on a base. Over 300 and some employees, 3 different shifts. So how I started was they have a break room. So of course that's their warm market, right? So as we were like, hey, just get the postcards and blah, blah, blah. They were like, oh, that's awesome. That'll work out great, but we need our pictures. And I mean, Frank was like, well, why do you think you need your pictures? And he said, well, we're over 3 shifts. Nobody knows us really by our name, except for the people that like work in our little group in these 3 helicopter hangars. So now that we did their pictures for them, it just worked out great for them because now people, again, can just relate to like, oh, that's Chris, his card's all over the break room. And, it just starts conversation as they're on their lunch, on their break time, anything like that. So that's just, again, another idea why you may want to put your picture on the cards.
Right. It's instant credibility, And again, real estate people do it all the time, right? Because you want to have that branding of yourself, right? So when you hand out this card, it's like, oh, Chris, he's really into this. He's got his card. He's 100%. He's got the coin. And again, people could just relate. And it's just that trust, it's a trust factor too, right?
Yep.
So
there is our blue theme. And now we can go over to what we call our grudge theme or Miss Liberty. So on these ones, of course, so you have 5 through 9. Pretty much you have your standard one up top, which just has the silver and gold. A lot of people love that card because the silver and gold just pops off of it. And again, remember that when we're prospecting or we're talking to different people, we don't sell silver and gold, we give them access to silver and gold. So it's kind of a big thing. So people are always like, oh, can I buy your coins? And this, and I get that all the time when I go to shows all the time. I can probably sell a bunch of it, and it's not what we do, right? So it's just, we make buying silver and gold simple because that's all we do is give you access to it. You buy as much or as little as you want. So that's 5, 6, 7, and 8, of course, is our Miss Liberty. Of course, we have the American flag behind it. Everyone seems to love this whole card and this whole concept. It's just very big. It's, pro-America. It has everything to do with, again, just what America stands for. Again, 2 different pictures. The one, of course, you have Frank smiling. The bottom one, we have Doc Jim. I don't want to say too many stories because we can be here a long time, but Doc was the same way. He was on our team. He runs a hospital, and same thing. He was just having trouble meeting some people and getting the word out and all of that. He owns, of course, all the Miss Liberty coins. So as we gave him this, and then, of course, now he carries his 1 ounce coin in his, I guess what, doctor jacket when he's at the hospital. Me and Frank always cracked a joke with him. We swear he's handing these postcards to patients. I swear he's going in rooms, and as these guys are waking up, they're waking up to this postcard and they get to learn about 7K. But it gave him the confidence to just promote his business. And that's all, again, the whole design of these is to just get people to be able to promote their 7K business with the least amount of fear of having to answer questions that you're nervous about answering, presenting 7K. It's just let 7K do the work.
Right. Because if it's not simple, if it's not fun, who's going to want to do it, right?
Correct.
that's what this is all about. It's about having fun promoting your 7K.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh my God, I gotta go do this today, nobody's gonna want to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, I just want to tell you a really quick story. My son loves handing these coins out, right? He's the man when he walks into his barber shop. Okay. He loves handing these out to every barber and the people that are getting their hair cut, right? He thinks he's like the richest guy in the shop. He owns the shop, right? He's only 10. He's probably the youngest guy in 7K. Of course, he's helping me, but he just loves it. And anybody can do it, right? Anybody, right? That's the key. Like, I can have my wife come in here. Hey, go hand this to the next door neighbor. Can she do it? Of course she can, right? So yeah, that's what these are all about. It's all about having fun, and we make you look good doing it. So let's move to the next round.
Yep.
Let's move a little bit quick on these, Dave, because
Okay. So these ones, of course, Frank's just opened up 2 different pages. So we call this our sketch, like New York sketch theme, because New York's in the background, kind of like sketched out there, as you can see, again, with the Miss Liberty. Frank, again, we just use his picture. Of course, we have Gail on the one. You may see her all over 7K. We love Gail. She's awesome. Always nice. She has plenty of stories. If you do talk to her, she's been handing out cards all over her town.
Yeah.
So she's loving it there. Same thing with the backs. Again, they just kind of match the fronts right there. So that gives you those ideas there. Again, just a different color. Again, here's our Canadian version. So again, it has the maple leaf on number 13th. And then if you see on number 12, we did the maple leaf and the silver eagle. Again, we put the silver eagle there because, again, as they watch this Y7K video, you just wanted something with the silver eagle still on the card. Just so, again, subconsciously they can relate to the video, to the card that they're looking at.
Yeah.
So there is all them there. And then, of course, with the backs, again, same thing. All the backs are the same, just colored differently. And then we're going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview of the new versions that are coming out right now, that are already coming out in the circulation. These ones have been pretty much a huge hit on just a whole different way of, I call them generic stackers, that you're not so much into the collectible world and you just want silver and gold and as many ounces of it as possible. So Frank, if you want to bring up our...
You're not even going to drum roll this or anything?
Drum roll it for them. You know what I mean?
All right. Look at these things.
So these are silver and gold bars, right? So it's just going to be like you're putting a 100-ounce silver bar or a kilo gold bar right in someone's hands. So when you hand it to someone, it's definitely going to make an impact, right?
Yep.
These ones are even a little bigger than the rectangles that I already showed you, right? So they're the same length, but 6.5 inches tall. So if you're at a trade show or anything like that, and you start handing these out, I promise you, if they don't scan it on the spot, when they get home and lay that on their kitchen counter, their nightstand, their coffee table, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb, and we just want to be like, you know what, shit, I gotta scan that QR code and see what that was all about.
Right. So you could see how massive these things are. This is a standard envelope.
Right.
I mean, this would be the gold bar sitting behind it. It just gives you an idea of how big these things are. But we started using these, and just the expression on people's faces when we're giving gold bars out.
Yeah,
it's a whole new like,
yeah, it's just like, because it's just different. Nobody's ready for it, right? I mean, any of these cards, the size of them, which is why we, again, when you're doing postcard marketing, as we've been doing it for 20 years with so many different companies, you need to make that initial impact. And I hate to say, a lot of people go for a smaller version, like a 3x5 or even 4x6s. And the problem is everyone does that.
Right.
So you're just like another postcard in the stack of postcards, similar to business cards. We all have our folder of business cards, like on our office. I know I do. And I was like, oh, I hand you my business card. Here I am, like thumbing through them, trying to find, because I have 50 of them in a stack, right? So it's just a little like there's a purpose for them, but it's just kind of outdated as far as wanting to make an impact on someone. When you hand this and this was on my desk, it's going to stand out. I mean, it's just going to like be sitting there like visually, you're going to constantly see it. And that's the whole purpose of the postcard, because remember, it's multiple touches and everyone's busy. So if it's on my desk, I may not scan it today, but eventually I'm just like, you know what? I have 10 minutes, I'm taking a breather. I'm going to scan it.
Right.
So these are the new versions.
How do they get in touch with you? How do they order these?
Yep.
What is the process? And show them how they can order from you and what their costs are.
Yep.
This is just so powerful. I can't wait for all the 7K world, the 7K team to get this information and take it away.
Yep.
All right, so let's go over the pricing. So Dave, why don't you jump on here and I'll take control of the controls here. So we're just going to go right through exactly what you saw. We're going to go through the circles, the rectangles, and the gold bars.
Correct.
Let's just start with the wealth strategy books, just to see a comparison and how we used them and how they kind of flopped.
Right.
Okay.
So the wealth strategy books, right? So why we put that there? So for 500 of them, they're about $275 like shipped to us, right? Which is awesome. The problem I feel with the wealth strategy books is it's a little too much info for a first hit to somebody. For the first touch to give that to someone, it's $2.75, and me and Frank and our team have spent thousands of dollars on these books, and we were handing them out no different than we do the postcards. But remember, again, it's your business, so we call it your customer acquisition cost, right? You need to bring that down when you're trying to market. That's what any business. So even for our brick and mortar businesses, everything comes down to your marketing, how much is your budget, and what you're trying to get for return on investment.
Yep.
So we, again, decided to go with this whole postcard thing, and it just worked out. And of course, the cost is 10 times better. But we just show that so you get an idea, because if you've been in 7K and you haven't ordered wealth strategy books, I'm not even quite sure how you're promoting unless you're strictly just using the app. And that doesn't work, I can tell you 100%, when you're at trade shows. It's too much time, but I got to get your cell number, put it in, remember. I have my wife, she got a notebook. She's trying to jot names and phone numbers. I'm going to add them later. So there's certain tools for certain things that you just have to start visualizing how it's going to work when you're truly running 7K as a business, not as, I don't want to say a hobby, but as a business. If you're looking to build a team, build a downline, use the tools, the whole deal. That's just why we have it there. There's nothing wrong with the wealth strategy books. We still own a bunch of them. And if you're on your second, third, fourth touch even, and like, I'm just not sure, like, here's the book now, like, give them that, because it does give them a lot more information. And if they're asking you for more information, they're interested, they're worth the $2.75 investment now. But that initial person, we just tested it. It just didn't seem to work, at least for us, when you hand that out as the first touch for someone. That's all. It's just a lot of information.
Yeah, they do have their place, but only if somebody asks for more information. That's the only time that we hand these things out. So it's going to be the postcard, get them up to the video, Hey, Frank, do you have any more information? Yeah, absolutely. Check out this book. I'll walk you through it. But if you're just handing them out, like hoping that that's going to, close a deal, they really don't. But they're great. They have great information in them, but maybe only use 1 or 2 pages out of them and work that into your word track or your story. So,
okay, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is, so you're looking at the 6-inch circles. Okay. So all of our pricing includes the postcards, the design. We create the QR code for you, and free shipping as long as you're in the United States. Of course, we do ship to Canada, and we do ship to Hawaii. We already have a lot of people in Hawaii using them, and Canada, of course. We do know 7Ks in other countries. I don't want to say unfortunately, because again, it is your business. We have had people in UK want them. Shipping is what it is. There's no way around, especially in today's world. Again, inflation and diesel price and everything else. Shipping is just expensive right now. Anyway, if you're in the United States, we cover the shipping. It's included in these pricing.
Wait, hold up. But Canada and Hawaii, we do add a little bit to that. And
correct.
That's like on a one-on ship, and we let you know what it is before we send them.
Right, because it changes all the time too. It's not stationary. It just depends when we put that zip code in our system. Quantity wise, we go from 500 all the way up to 20,000. And again, depending on if you have access to the businesses and different things, like I said, people are like, oh, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. You'd be shocked when you have access to a group of people that, people in businesses that just have access, you see what it does cost per card. Again, your customer acquisition cost, right? 500, or even at 500, you're at 85 cents. So I don't mind risking 85 cents to try and get a 7K customer. Believe me, it's the best investment ever. It just works out. 1,000 and 2,500, they seem to always be the go-to, of course, because you see the price drop like almost drastically right off the gate right there. So again, from 85 cents all the way down to 9 cents. So they're your circles.
Dave, let me jump in really quick. So what I always tell our downlines, okay, so however you're going to be promoting your 7K business, I say you have to commit for 3 months. Okay. And I know Bob is a little bit longer than me, but
Much longer.
I know. And I love it. I might actually change mine up.
Yeah.
But to get you guys, again, I understand that you're just getting in, or you've been in and you've been struggling. So I need you to commit for 3 months. Okay. And the reason why is because in 3 months, that's when you're going to start to get some data. If you only hand out, again, you call me up and say, oh, Frank, this isn't working. My first question to you, because again, I'm a numbers guy, is how many did you actually get out? And if you tell me that you only got 33 of them out, that's why it's not working, right? So that's why I always ask the number, because the number always tells the true story in anything that you do. Okay. So
yeah,
when I say we commit for 3 months, right? So we want to at least, again, you're promoting your 7K business. I don't care if you're doing YouTube ads, you're doing funnels, you're doing email marketing, you're doing the training in the back of 7K. You got to commit, right? You got to like get into it. You got to really do it. If you're only doing it once a week, like at the soccer field with your kid, you're not really doing 7K. Okay. I want to know when you're working 7K. Start off Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. And then you up it. Okay. Now you're doing it Monday through Friday, then you up it, right? All of a sudden you have a system, you're working it, right? That's how it really works. And that's how you're going to get your data, what's working and what's not. If you're only doing it, like I said, at the soccer field, you're half watching your son or daughter kick the soccer ball. You can't concentrate, right? So yeah. I'm telling you, you got to like commit. And what I mean by that is you commit to your business, you're doing it. So when I say,
which will actually turn to be an option of, like I said, why you want to just consider going more than 500. Right. I know a lot of people definitely do the 500, but you just want to consider doing more. It also gives you the mindset that you need to promote your 7K business. If you're like, oh yeah, I just need 500. For me and Frank's standpoint, our team, which is fine, but it's like, you already feel that like 500 is a lot. And again, it just really isn't in 7K world. Cause like I said, you'll get hundreds of no's and hundreds of yeses. That's 1,000 to 2,500 postcards as you're handing them out. So that's all. Right. It's just mindset.
But at the same time, if you can only do the 500, awesome.
That's fine. Correct.
Just commit to it. That's all I'm saying. So if you're going to do the 500, 5 a day, Monday through Friday, get people watching, get people in your pipe. That's all we're saying. But what the long term is, we want to get the cost down of your promoting. Okay. So this is where you want to be in, somewhere right in here. If you could do it. Okay. If you hook up with a pizza guy, maybe this is where you want to be. These guys are blasting through postcards like you can't believe it. It's like 3,000 to 5,000 cards a week going out. So that's how many pizzas are going out of these places. So there's another gold nugget. Pizza places, a big cash business, go talk to these guys, okay? Car washes, big cash businesses, right? So let's keep moving, Dave.
Yep. So next is the postcards, the 4x12s.
Yep.
So again, pretty much you're almost the same for the same pricing, 500 to 1,000. But the difference is when you get to 2,500, 20,000, again, shipping weight, shipping costs, different things, more boxes, all that stuff. But so there's your pricing there for the 4x12s. Now, if remember I was telling you, if you want your picture on it, right? So if you want your picture on the card, we do charge $100 for that. Reason being is 9 times out of 10 that we've done it so far, Frank spends 2 to 3 hours normally photoshopping different things, communicating with you multiple times. I hate to say it this way, but most people do not know how to take a good picture of themselves, especially if they have to do it by themselves. If they have someone that'll help them, it's fine. But there's certain requirements that we ask when you want your picture on there. We'll get into that if you do opt for it. As you'll see in the order process, you just like, hey, Dave, I want my picture on it. I'm going to send you the requirements. You're going to probably send me 10 to 15 different pictures. And then Frank will kind of use which one is good and or edit what he needs to.
Yep.
Last is the gold bars and the silver bars. Again, these are the 6.5 by 12s. Same thing. Everything's in. Round the corners for these ones. QR code design, the postcards, again, 500 to 20,000 there. So they're all of our pricing. I know Bob has this on a replay, so you guys will be able to just go back and check all this out. And then last, I'm going to show you how to order, right? So the order process. Frank's giving you a little sneak peek of something else we have in the works there, but we'll go into that later.
Give me 1 second.
Yep. So pretty much everything we do for ordering, as Frank's blowing this up, is through Facebook right now. It just makes it simpler and it makes it very easy that I can keep track of everything in Facebook messaging and all of that. And then I can take all that info and put it in our database. So pretty much step one is choose your design or designs. Again, some people order the circles and the rectangles because again, they have, their vision of how they want to market their 7K business. So that's step one. Step two, you're going to friend request me or send me a message. I always say friend request me only because, again, sometimes, when you get a message from someone that's not your friend, it goes up into that other corner. Granted, I check it every day, all the time, but I always say just friend request me. Step three, this info right here, you can see I'm going to resend it to you anyway in Facebook message when you're like, hey, Dave, I want to place an order. I'll be like, okay, cool. Here's the info that I need. So first and last name, email, phone number, country and state, your billing and shipping address. I only need it one time though, if it's the same. Then your quantity, design number, and video link. Step four is once I'm going to get all that info, I send it to Frank. He'll send you an invoice. We do everything through PayPal. It just keeps it nice, simple, and easy. If you have a PayPal account, you can pay for it through with your PayPal account, or you can use any credit card you want.
Yeah, you don't need, to be clear, you don't need a PayPal account.
Correct. Yep. Step five, once your invoice is paid, Frank's going to send you over a final proof. You'll be able to check your spelling, check your phone number, scan your QR code, make sure everything is good. You'll email back to him ready for print. And then you go into production and it's 10 to 14 business days. And of course, that time starts when your order goes into production, not when me and you start communicating. Because again, there could be a few days, everyone's busy. So some people just, again, get it misconstrued there. Of course, that is my cell number. Not today, like everyone just shooting me a text, but I am open to it. You can even give me a call if you're like, you know what, I'm just going to call Dave. It's just easier. There's my phone number. You're more than welcome to shoot me a text or a call. Yep. Now, the one thing that I'm just going to say now, even though a lot of you may watch this back on a replay, but as you are looking at all the sample sheets, next to the circle coins, there are numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 12. That is the number you're going to tell me of the card you want. Like, hey, Dave, I want number 7. Hey, Dave, I want number 4. Hey, Dave, I want number 8. When you go over to the rectangles, the 4 by 12s, okay, you're going to see numbers and you're going to see letters. So you can pick any back you want. Like, hey, Dave, I want 5E, or hey, Dave, I want 5G, I want 5H, I want 7E. Whatever it is on that page that you're looking at, they all correlate with each other. So that's all you're going to tell me. Dave, this is what I want, and then you're good to go. And that's the same for all the other pages as you're going through them again. So it's very simple, very easy. The best thing is me and Frank are just two normal guys. I can tell you, I jump on the phone with so many of you. I help you all the time. A lot of people, as Bob was even saying earlier, have trouble using the app. Don't even sweat it. Don't worry about it. I get on the phone with you. I will walk you right through how to send me your video link. Do not worry about anything. I do it all day, every day. I'm here to help and get you guys moving.
Yep.
Blow up, Dave, blow up your name and cell number there, because there are a lot of people that don't use Facebook. And so they'll be able to text you and they'll have that. That's the last thing we see up here on the screen big. There we go. And then you can just shoot Dave a text and then he can get online with you in Zoom, because most people do Zoom. And,
Yeah, correct.
And,
Yep.
and it's a very easy ordering process.
Yeah.
I went through it, and we've got ours being printed, and
Yep.
can't wait to get them in hand so we can start passing them out.
Yeah.
Powerful tool. You guys are real pros in marketing. You know the card business, but you also know a system. And a
Right.
system is what you have to have, and that's what y'all brought to the table. This is truly 22nd century marketing. It just puts together everything that I've taught with 7K for the last 5.5 years, and beginning people to do touches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the, so I'll just summarize my system. It's 5 people a day, five days out of 7 in a week. And you will do 500 people in 5 months. And then you're going to do what? You're going to touch those same 500 people 7 times totally over your first 2 years in the business. And you're going to be meeting new people. So get out and about. And now you got a tool that catches people's attention and really piques their interest. And all they have to do is scan it. They get a video. They don't have to go to any website. I mean, this is the best tool I've seen. Thank you guys for bringing it to the table. Thank you,
Bob.
for taking the time with us tonight. And I encourage everybody to get in touch with Dave Capolino and get your
Cards.
6-inch card, or your 4.5 by 12, or your bigger one. Get the big bar. Pass out bars.
Look, let me show you how to do it.
But that's the way I saw you on 7K exclusive, and I saw this, and then Gail Darcy in our group, and then I've got several other people ordering, and they really like this, and it's working for them. So I want everybody to see it, and I want everybody to be able to capitalize on it. Thank you guys for bringing it to the table. Thank you for getting 7K's approval and for this, and it is 7K approved. And so it's just a matter of ordering and getting it and letting these guys get it to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Everyone, thank you. And get your order in. Call Dave or get him on Facebook. See y'all later. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.